The Denver Broncos have been absolutely horrific. They had a lot of highs and a lot of lows this year. And when they were at their highest, there were stories coming out in week 8. They beat Kansas City. They wanted to take Russell Wilson out. He wasn't getting along with the coaching. He wasn't getting along with any of his players. Not a coinky-dink, because we've heard stories about Russell Wilson in Seattle. Half the players over there couldn't stand him. We've seen Richard Sherman say things about him. Cam Chancellor say things about him. Marshawn Lynch said things about him. What is it about Russell Wilson? Why doesn't he get along with other players?
Well, I think that when players go to an organization, we typically will embody the city. We'll take on the persona of the city. And being that Denver's a blue-collar city, Seattle also blue-collar city, a Hollywood personality doesn't quite fit. I feel it's just a mismatch there. Came in his first year. I think he had almost a 20-person entourage that had access to the facility. He had his own office baked into his contract. So while the other players are in the locker room, he's in his personal office. Why does he need an office? To run the Russell Wilson enterprise. And that just rubs teammates the wrong way, and what that puts off. The other aspect, he doesn't come off very authentic in his approach and how he's communicating with the media. He maybe could be perceived as being a little fake. I think that the interesting part about this is his former teammates in Seattle are talking about it. No one said anything while they were on the team with him. All this stuff comes out after he's off the team. So I think Seattle did a good job of insulating this personality
dysfunctions,
character issues that he may have with the organization or with his teammates. But once a player leaves that organization that drafts them, everything kind of comes out, and the players have to start addressing that. So I think with him and Sean Payton, when Sean Payton got there, he nixed the entire entourage, took the office away. He was forced to go back into the locker room and be an equal to the rest of the players. And I think that was more of a testament to Sean Payton to have the guts to do that, and then to go in to manage him as a player in the game. As I'm evaluating Sean Payton, the 1-5 start was horrendous, capped off by that disaster in the Miami game. But then the third quarter of the season was decent. They go on a 5-game winning streak, and things started looking good for them until the end. And so in October, the way that Sean Payton needed to manage Russell Wilson, it appeared that they wanted to keep him under 30 throws, seemed to be the magic number. And so as he's managing him, it's frustrating. You can see them bickering at each other on the sidelines. It's not the type of offense that Sean Payton was wanting to run. And then that's what you run into. When a new coach comes to an organization, they have a vision on how they want to see the team run, the players that fit in it. And unfortunately, Russell Wilson just doesn't fit into the type of offense and the type of team Sean Payton wants to have.
One of the other big things was they're not starting him to make sure they don't have to pay him a $37 million insurance bonus too. So what are your thoughts on that, and just the general concept of these teams, especially now in this week where all these incentive bonuses are going to come out? What are your thoughts on the way the NFL sometimes nitpicks those things?
That's the way it's always been. That's just the nature of the business. When I talk to my friends throughout my career who are in the business world, and I would tell them some of these inner workings of what's going on, how they wouldn't send a defensive player on blitz packages because they don't want him to get too many sacks, or how they don't pass a certain player the ball because they don't want that player to be in a contract year but come to the table for more money. My business friends say, wow, that's just disgusting. It's some of the most disgusting things we've heard. But at the same time, when they put that into context, they don't pretend like they've had a job where someone asked them to take a pay cut either. Put it in context, it's all relative. And so when it comes down to these players, it just depends on whose side you're on. Are you on the side of the organization, or are you on the side of the player? So some people will stand up and say that they're doing them dirty, and some people say the organization is doing the right thing by trying to maximize the dollars they have. They didn't put themselves in this contract situation. The new ownership didn't get themselves in this contract situation. It came with the purchase of the team. So as I reflect back on the Denver Broncos, George Patton is the one who put this package together, the general manager. Now, he should probably get 2 or 3% from the Bowlen family because there was no way this organization would have sold without a seemingly superstar quarterback, a hotshot head coach who just got done coaching Aaron Rodgers to MVP. There was no way this team would have sold for $4 billion as it did. So George is on the side of the Bowlen family and making this deal. And so he got the team sold, and that's pretty much all he cares about. Now it comes down to Nathaniel Hackett botched that the first year, and now Sean Payton's in here cleaning it up. So teams do this all the time. They give a player an option. You're not playing up to how we expect, or this isn't going the right way, the way we would want it to. You can stay here, but you have to take less, or you can try it out on the open market. And Russell Wilson's going to try it out on the open market like any player should. He should say, hey, I'm going to take my money, cut my bait, and go out there and have at it.
He's definitely having at it with Ciara. She's something to look at. I can tell you that. Babies and something to look at. I wouldn't mind looking at that every day.